right, so game of the week time. It's going to be our pal Raven versus our pal Hunter, and we are excited to get this stream going. But of course, it's not the easiest thing to figure all this little intricacies out, get it all set up, and call the game by yourself. So I haven't quite gotten to it yet. We are going to check on the channel. Here it is. We're going to share the link, and then we'll jump in and see where they've gotten to in this game. Looks like it's still in the first quarter, so not much has happened. Maybe someday we'll start the stream before the game gets going, but I don't know, maybe that's just a pipe dream. Who knows? Alright, so here we go. Game of the week is live. Okay. And it looks like San Francisco is going to be the team to have the ball, but you can't see any of that yet because I gotta switch it on over. Alright, so here we are. San Francisco punting early. Some good defense by the Broncos on the opening drive of the game. And yeah, game of the week time. It's Broncos, 49ers. 49ers, I believe, are 2-0, looking to go 3-0 in that AFC West early. And Denver, I believe, is looking for their second win. So good opportunities on both sides. One new user and one fresher user to the MKL, Hunter and Raven. And the Broncos are going to take over on their own 6. Not the easiest starting position, but certainly it can be done. He's going to hand off. It looks like Melvin Gordon's no yards on the gain. And second down early. So these two teams, new quarterback in Denver, Russell Wilson, certainly will look for him to show up in a big way. It should be easier to here, let's do this. All right, so big touchdown there on the turnover touchdown for the San Francisco 49ers. Early mistake for the Broncos, and we're definitely looking at an early 49ers lead. The Broncos had terrible starting position, excellent punt by the 49ers there, and it pays off because the Broncos was backed up, and the turnover meant a touchdown in that situation. So tough start for the Broncos here. We'll see if they can clean it up. Like I said, we're looking for Russell Wilson to maybe show up today. The 49ers bolstered their defense, but also neutered their kind of outlook at quarterback slightly with Trey Lance, maybe the more popular quarterback that people want in Madden. He went and got Mac Jones, and we're going to see we haven't seen Mac Jones just yet, just because we started the stream later, but it looks like he wasn't able to move early on in his first drive against the Broncos. Russell Wilson, sure enough, out of the pocket. Good find at tight end, that really fast tight end. I'm not even going to pretend to be able to say his name. I guess is what they call him. But really nice big gain, 46-yard line for the team here. So, oh man. So Broncos sitting 2nd and 5. The 49ers seem to be attacking with this young rookie linebacker Tolson. Finds the wide open Tim Patrick. I don't know if it was wide open. He fit that right into a tiny space. Really good find by Russell Wilson. And the Broncos are knocking at the door. Looks like the 49ers are going to have to play with their backs against the wall here, but they do have the 7-0 cushion. Russell Wilson in the shotgun, some pressure early, able to get it out to, I believe, a rookie, Dur or something. Starts with a D. There it is, Dulcich. Really tight window there, a lot of pressure screaming in. Russell Wilson able to stand tall, something a lot of your quarterbacks may not be able to do. But there you go. Beautiful handoff. Melvin Gordon, tie ball game right up the beginning. So voting went 18 to the 49ers, 4 to the Broncos. I think this was also a bit of peer pressure. I think that the 49ers look like a lot of people were voting for them. They haven't lost yet, and the Broncos had taken a loss. So that largely contributed to it. But I know that the San Francisco 49ers, many believe, also has the superior roster. They have Nick Bosa, and they bolstered that defense. Mac Jones is a decent game manager. They still have some weapons on that offense, but they did largely strip down this team. They got rid of Deebo Samuel. They were able to bring in some good pieces, build up the offensive line a little bit. And so we're going to see the handoff. It looks like it's Mr. Mitchell. Nice gain, 8 yards on the first down run. So we're going to check the chat here, see if anybody's interested in coming to help commentate. Looks like nobody gives a crap. I'm not even sure if I wrote this alert to anybody. It looks like he's trying to find Kittle, but it will be cut off. Justin Simmons was not to be tested there. It looks like he's going to return this one for a pick six. He is dancing right at the one. Unwise, but it proves to be all right in this situation. The Broncos up 14-7 on the 49ers early. Huge interception coming in front of the route on Kittle. The quarterback, Mac Jones, seemed like he placed the ball decent, but just a little underthrown to allow Justin Simmons back into play to undercut the route. And we have a pick six. Looks like maybe Doc is going to want to come in and do some commentating with me. I'm going to ask him if he wants to join the booth here. So we're up 14-7. Okay, so I'm going to tell him to join the booth. All right, so Mac Jones in the shotgun, and he is going to. He looks like he's gonna get the completion. I believe that was Kittle trying to do some multitasking here, but we've got ourselves a ball game, folks, and it's not a bad one at all. We're gonna see if. Hey Doc, you there?
Hello.
All right, so Doc is here, and. Excellent, excellent. We're going to see if we can get him turned up all the way and maybe turn down the game flow a little bit here. And so, Doc, early action here. We've seen some turnover pick sixes. We've also seen one scoring drive for the Broncos. So a lot of rings are in question. Do you have the link to the game?
I am watching through. You posted.
Yeah, so go to their game channel and you might get a better link.
Okay.
And so we have the 49ers trying to answer back. A big pick six. Justin Simmons comes through in a big way covering Kittle. That's the type of player you definitely want on Kittle if Kittle's going to be out in a route against your defense. And Mac Jones looks like he's going to hand it off to Mr. Mitchell. And he's got a nice first down run. And just like that, the Broncos have their backs against the wall, and the 49ers are looking to tie it up 14-all. Are you caught up to us, Doc?
I am. This is a very interesting game because, the Broncos traded a lot of key pieces away, especially to teams like myself. So it's interesting to see how he's being competitive right now with his roster. He trades Bradley Chubb, he trades Michael Ojemudia, and he trades his left guard. But he's still able to perform even with the win last week versus the Texans, who are a really good team as well.
Yeah, 2-0 to this point. Has a firm hold on the NFC West. Everybody else in the West has 2 losses or more, and he's looking good here early. But against the Broncos in a tough 3rd and 8 here in the red zone, and it's interesting to see if he's gonna be able to pick it up. Looks like pressure's coming in. He wisely throws away. Looks like he's gonna take 3, and the Broncos are gonna have a chance to take a commanding lead on their next drive, or maybe if they miss this field goal. It might come sooner than we think. The power looks good, accuracy looks good, and it's right through the upright. So, have you missed a kick yet, Doc?
Have I missed a kick yet? No, I do not believe so.
Yeah.
I've only taken maybe 2 field goals.
Man, I was just playing with my friend Cookie. I wasn't thinking too in depth there. I lined up. I realized I was like, oh, I was like, oh, it's like Matt Prater. I figured it would be easy. I lined up, and then as the kick, once I finished, you can kind of hold on to it. You don't have to let it go right away. And I realized this isn't terribly accurate, and I didn't really aim, and I'm like 40 yards away. And I have no idea what's going to happen here. And sure enough, the kick went soaring through the air and boinked off the uprights. So no kicker of the year for me. That's pretty much a death sentence right there. But probably for the best. He's like 38.
I think it's a terrible feature to where, as you mentioned, you can hold it. And you used to be able to call a timeout if you didn't think it was going to go in. And they took that feature out of the game.
Right. Yeah, it would honestly, if you could call a timeout just because you kicked it wrong, that would actually be a cheat. Well, I think the biggest thing I ever hope for is if I kick it wrong and maybe they want to save time, I don't kick it right away. I'll maybe hold it and hope they'll call a timeout because I know I've missed it. But oftentimes they see, oh, interception. The 49ers are able to get the ball back on the 40. 4 minutes to go, down 4, and the unwise throw may lead to a lead change here. Who do you like in this game? Obviously, these are two more unknowns in the league, but the 49ers seem like they were on the hotter streak, but it's an early season, so it's really hard to tell at this point. There was.
I have the 49ers as probably a 4.5 favorite. The Broncos are a feisty team, but I really enjoy Raven, the user, and I enjoy the team he's built.
Yeah, for sure. Mac Jones threw to an open man, but it just looked like his wide receiver got stung by a bee mid-route. He completely left his route assignment, and the ball sailed. So we're in a 3rd down and 4. I think you're right. I think the 49ers have showed stronger to this point, but everybody can improve. I certainly hope to improve, and it looks like there's nothing open. Oh, he had to get rid of that ball. It looks like he's looking at another field goal.
He had a touchdown on the streak to the square receiver, right? I guess he just didn't see it. If he free fronts it to the right, it's a touchdown. And who got ball first? The 49ers or the Broncos?
Who got what?
Who got the ball first?
The 49ers got it first and got stopped and had to punt.
That's a terrible position, too, because now you're leaving 3 minutes on the clock. He goes down and scores, and then he gets ball at half. This is an entirely different game than what we're looking at right now.
We all hate, it's funny. In real life, a lot of our teams used to just ask for the ball first, right? And they used to ask for the ball first every time. And now, I think Madden may have changed it, but a lot of fans in Madden world, they were like, no, I don't want the ball first. Make them perform. Make them, not screw up on offense and punt and lose some momentum that way, right? Even a field goal seems to lose a little bit of that oomph you have going into a game. So a lot of us like to not receive at the beginning of the game. But you're right, man. It breaks our hearts when we realize we're going to be receiving first sometimes, because if you don't manage the game right, or they end up getting to manage the game better than you, you can get that touchdown and be down in a hole without ever punting. You can score, but if they're the ones that score, then they get the ball back, you're automatically, in a 2-touchdown hole, and you did nothing really that bad to deserve it.
And, I'm not
another interception. Sorry to cut you off there. Yeah, Max
And
Crosby is able to get the interception, drops back to coverage. Probably not why he traded for him, but he certainly traded for him to make big plays, and no play was bigger than that so far for Mr. Crosby. What were you saying?
I really, before he threw that interception, I didn't really like the approach the Broncos took with 3 minutes left coming out in a three tight end set. You kind of have to pass the ball because you do have 3 minutes, but you kind of have to get down the field. I'm not sure coming out in a set like that is really as efficient as possible, and it kind of cost him throwing an interception there. And then, there's really only one play that people really throw out of that, and it's the tight end attack, and pretty much everyone knows that it's coming. And I don't really agree with this, having Mac Jones get absolutely fucking rocked.
He attempted to send Mac Jones to an early grave. No slide. Maybe he's trying to show Mac Jones is a little bit more than some around the league have thought previously. It looks like nobody's open, but Mac Jones looked like he's going to take off again. Wisely slides. If he got rocked again, I'm not sure the algorithm could let him not fumble twice in a row.
And if you're the Broncos here, Region, are you calling timeouts?
It's a 2 minute draw. It's a 2 minute situation. I may hold off on my second and third timeout if I can get a stop and see if I can get him to pass. But if he's gonna run, I'll probably call a timeout. I'm just saying I'll probably hold off on the first timeout and see if I can get him to pass and get an incompletion. If so, you can save 2 timeouts, and that could be good. But it looks like he's probably going to run here. You might see the Broncos guess run. I mean, it's a viable strategy sometimes, but you get burned badly if you are wrong. But time is ticking.
I'm not sure I agree with this call because the outside linebacker has...
Oh, but the terrible dive attempt, and he is able to get into the end zone. Without that dive, I think he gets there.
Yeah, he had the leverage. He just had to go for a conservative tackle, but thankfully they nerfed diving tackles. I almost thought he missed the extra point there. Perfect positioning, and just, I think, panics and goes for the dive.
Well, I mean, what the Broncos have to be hoping here, a couple mistakes in crucial areas. The dive tackle was not the move. I think he had the angle to just run it out. At least disrupt the run so another tackler could come in and finish it. The dive tackle is totally different. Honestly, I think it's an improvement because there were some superhuman shoestring tackles that were happening last year that just would make me facepalm. But the Broncos, if they can get into field goal range here, not all is lost here. I mean, if they can get in the field goal range, they're just down a field goal, getting the ball at half. But if they can't get into field goal range, they better not let the 49ers score again, so at least a touchdown would put them up 1 after the half. It looks like a wide open up the... Oh, man, Tim Patrick sure can't hold on to the ball. Too bad he's injured in real life because we might have seen him do some of that in real life. He's a big, strong receiver. Some thought maybe he should be a tight end in this league. Nice broken tackle, so 24 seconds, 2 timeouts. Broncos are probably wishing for touchdown. They need to be careful and at least get 3 here, Doc.
Yeah, you probably... If you're going to be passing the ball, you got to try and get at least 15 yards here or something to the boundary. Not sure I agree with that because now you have to waste a timeout, and that's only a 3-yard gain, and now you're down to 1 timeout.
He saw a blitz screaming in. I think a lot of us have these quick thoughts when we see the all-out blitz coming in our face. I think you're right that something else might have been coming out more open, but still a scary situation. It looks like it's another all-out blitz, so the Broncos are going to be having to think about figuring out a way to get the ball out quick, but also maybe getting close enough for 1 throw at the end zone before you settle for a field goal.
Yeah, we're going to see how Hunter operates against pressure, and not sure I agree running straight backwards is an ideal way to handle that.
Yeah, without the escape artist this year, running straight backwards is definitely going to be a risk for your field goal attempt that most assuredly you want at this point. If you can't get a touchdown, it's not all or nothing. You can get the field goal.
I absolutely hate this defensive call.
Oh my goodness!
And never mind. I thought it was going to be 4 verticals because it was cover 3, and all he has to do is hit the seam. But
yeah,
I don't understand the play calling on that.
I mean, Broncos must have felt like this was a safe play call. 49ers jumps up, sees him going maybe relatively conservative, and is able to jump up and take a short route. So They have a strong lead. I can't imagine that they're going to get points here, but I mean, they're 8 seconds. They have all their timeouts. One quick strike may be able to do it for them. Looks like that run's going to get stuffed, so no such risk here. 4 seconds, unless they want to chuck a Hail Mary. Looks like they probably will here, but it is Mac Jones, and unlikely to get it to the end zone with a heave, but all right, so just maybe padding the stats here, and we're going to the second half, not overtime, but the second half of the game, where the Broncos threw away some opportunities there, and
with some second half notes, Region, what do you think the key is for each of these teams to be successful and win the game in the second half?
The Broncos needs to be a lot more safe with the ball, especially in situations where a field goal is obtainable. And the 49ers need to continue to keep their foot on the gas. Don't sit back. It seems like this pressure is bothering the Broncos. And if they sit back, they might allow him to get comfortable and find more of a rhythm. But I think defensively, it's the 49ers needing to hold this Broncos team down. And offensively, the Broncos need to exploit the holes that, like you said earlier, are there. You just got to see them. And we've got Russell Wilson under center in the single back set. Looks like he's making some changes. Hopefully not too many, or we're going to see a penalty. And it's going to be a nice little spin move, but to no real change here. 2 yards. What's that, Doc?
I think the Broncos need to start playing less conservative. You know, he's trying to ding and dunk down the field, but you know, if you can try and take a hole shot or a shot in general against this man coverage, against corners who aren't, you know, very good, and a secondary that's not very good, I feel like his receivers between Cortland Sutton and Jerry Jeudy and Tim Patrick can, you know, beat man coverage.
Yeah, the weak part of this 49ers defense that's been constructed is the back end. The front seven is the hardest part to test here. He might be wanting to look at the fourth down rules. I don't think he can go for it here. But hopefully he checks. Yeah. Hunter's not a rule breaker, nor is he a rage quitter. I'm sure he wants to win. I'm sure 49ers wants to win, but we're going to really try to follow the rules in this league so everybody has the same playing field. Because
it's want to win after the
it looks like it's a yeah. I'm not sure what's going on with regards to this. I'm sure he wants to go for it. I don't think he can. If you can talk to him and chat, I cannot. All my devices are being used. So yeah, 20-14. Broncos early drive snuffed out. It looks like they're gonna have to be punting here on their own 32, 3 yards to go. They can take a penalty and punt. They can take a timeout. I'd probably recommend taking a penalty if they're going to be changing to a punt here. It looks like we're resuming the game.
I just messaged him. He said, I said you have to punt, friend, and he said, nope, stop me. So.
Well, that sucks.
It seems like a potential suspension coming in then.
Yeah, I don't love that, guys. Please follow the rules. But he might not get the ball back. Looks like the time may run out here. No, he's gonna hike it, and looks like it's an interception. So turns out no harm, no foul with regards to that. But the rule was blatantly broken, and this is disappointing. Guys, we have these here for a reason, so that people don't get the ball back on the 30 and completely change this, landscape of the game super quickly over and over. Punting in that situation was kind of a must for what we're going for, and obviously it's a bummer, but it also helps us get stops in a game where sometimes it's hard to find stops, realistic situations to punt. So there's all sorts of times you don't have to punt. When you're on your own 30, 4th and 3, I believe that's a time that you really should be in this league. Throws it away, intentional grounding. Looks like he's at least coming away with 3 here, but that'll definitely back him up. 3rd and 13.
Well, do you want to do a first ever live suspension?
I don't. I hate. I hate being an admin again for this reason. I get stressed out trying to make things run well. and good screen, good timing on the screen call. His guy gets free from the block. I hate it when that happens to me. Looks like somebody's going to be blocked, and they reach on out, but that does happen. And certainly, Bronco. I don't know if he's lined up. Oh, I see the little arrow's going to maybe suck it back into play here. Very good. He's aimed right at the crossbar, and the wind sails it through. So I imagine being a professional kicker and literally doing the whole lick your finger thing. They probably have machines now that tell them the exact direction and speed and but like imagine if there's one old ass kicker in the league that just licks his finger and ignores the machine. I'd like to think like who Justin Tucker still licks his finger and feels for the wind. Anyways, all right. So Broncos down 9, and they got to figure something out. Their offense is sputtered here, and that could have been it. The hole kind of closed up. Looks like he's using Melvin Gordon quite a bit, and he is a Broncos fan. So never underestimate somebody who is a fan of the team from actually use. Oh, it looks like the pressure comes in real quick. Never underestimate a person who is a fan of the team from actually being able to use every player, right? I mean, if you get a Lions fan on the Lions, Amon St. Ra's being used. You get Steady on the Lions, he can't wait to get rid of him, right? It's just kind of that fascinating Madden thing that happens. I know if I was the Falcons, I was probably going to be trying to use every young player, even if they're not the best Madden player. But they have quite a few this year. All right, so deep shot. Kind of goes up for it, Mr. Patrick. We might see another go for it on 4th. Really can't. He's going to punt. I appreciate that.
Even though he's allowed to go for it.
He's allowed to go for it now? Yeah, I think now it's 8 points or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so... Yeah, I mean, if you reverse the situations, maybe we don't see the quick score. I think he only got a field goal out of the last drive. You get the punt, maybe he gets the stop, and maybe he's down only 7, and well, I don't know. That's the whole thing. That's what we're going for, guys. The rules kind of suck, and it sucks to get stopped when you feel like you have another gasp. Here's one thing: you can always fake a punt. I mean, that's allowed one time a game to fake a punt. Looks like he's got an open man. He can't undercut that route, and Ayuk gets him to the 39. So the game is coming away from Mr. Broncos team. And what's that, Doc?
I'm looking at the Mac Jones' passing line, and I don't understand why you don't punt on the drive before the last drive either. He's what 4 was that 4 for 11 for 100 yards?
Yeah, he wasn't trusting his defense, and I'm sure he was frustrated to get stopped right after the half when he knew the situation. He knew he was down 6. He knew punting it away wasn't getting him any closer to getting the lead back with some frustrating interceptions beforehand. So even if you're frustrated, try to know the rules, guys. Try to follow them, just so we can all be doing the same thing here. All right, Mac Jones, good pressure by the Broncos.
If pressure doesn't get there, that's an easy touchdown for whoever that was. I think that was Ayuk.
Yeah. I mean, definitely. That's probably my problem. I'm looking at the pocket. You're looking down the field. All right, so we're looking at Mr. Elijah Mitchell gets the carry. Looks like he's maybe trying to just at least get 3 here.
Yeah, he did that, 2 yards. I think that's 57-yard field goal, 56.
Yeah, we might see it happen again. It looks like triangle's a hot route here, but he might go short to circle. Circle gets his route blown up. Mac Jones has nothing. He really needs to throw it away, and he does.
That's twice on that play that he's had the streak wide open and hasn't done it.
He might not trust Mac Jones to get it done down the field that far. He had been complaining earlier that Mac Jones hasn't been connecting from that distance. Looks like this kick might sail, but it does. It slows down and it's drift to the right, and it goes right through the uprights. Looks like the wind maybe slowed it down there. And
you're trash talking with Hunter saying 6 for 15. You kind of suck at passing.
Well, how about that? We got some choice words. I'm not one to send them. I'll act like frustrated, I was frustrated when I lost to Mo just because I saw the manner in which he played with Stinky. It felt like they were playing silly. And then against me, I just saw him lock up, and I was just wishing he'd pitch the ball or chuck some stupid pass versus me. But I think that's just me being frustrated overall because it's not that much fun to lose. But I will say this: there's 18 weeks in the NFL season now, so you're going to get another chance to win a game if you come out and fall flat or do some bad mistakes. So 14 to 26, the Broncos really need points here, Doc. Their running game has helped previously. Lately here, hasn't been getting it done. They're going to need to find something down the field. Who do you think their man is? Earlier it's been Tim Patrick, but they have some other great wide receivers to use.
I think you got to utilize Cortland Sutton down the field. I don't agree with the play action or the con in general because, if you're bringing in play action on a blitz, you're going to get sacked. And there you see a nice downfield shot, which he needs to take more of instead of, running the ball or taking these 1 or 2 yard.
Part of me is wondering if there's possibly a Tim Patrick Dev game. That run needed a tackles battle, or else it was definitely going to be snuffed out. But yeah, Tim Patrick's been his only real down the field threat to this point that I remember. I think O got a good catch, the tight end. It looks like he's got a deep man if he lets it go. O is able to maybe get the first down. He's got inches. It looks like he did have a deep man. He didn't really trust himself on the run there. I get it. But we're going to need to see a first down here. This game can get out of control real quick.
Yeah.
The 49ers seems to know it. Big lane for Javonte Williams. It looks like he's going to go all the way.
Rush, wow, he really needed that run play. Because, things were kind of stalling out. It was third, if you don't get it, do you really get it on fourth down with how his offenses looked? I don't think so. That's a huge play, And you still have a minute left in the third. Broncos might be able to squeeze a comeback here. And he's going for 2. Not entirely sure why he's going for 2.
He's in the goal line situation. There's only a couple passes out of this, and there's a lot of runs. So maybe he thinks his offensive line's going to beef up here. He is not going to hand it off. He is going to throw it. There is a wide open man in the corner who doesn't bring it down. He wasn't wide open necessarily, but he did fit it in there. Execution was didn't work out. So yeah, he was only going to be down 4. Maybe he was thinking then if he went up another touchdown, then he'd be up 3. But lead is back to 6 when it could have been 5, and we'll see if that plays into anything here. So the game is coming down to a one-score game at this point. The 49ers need to go down, prove they can get back into scoring range, and maybe come away with more than a field goal. There's probably enough time for the Broncos to have a couple touchdown drives, especially if the 49ers only get a field goal on this drive.
And now we're starting to see the offensive explode here in this final quarter. We're starting to figure each other out.
Yeah, I think they're maybe getting a little bit more comfortable. Maybe going away from some things that were working or weren't working. The handoff isn't going to work for Mitchell there. Interesting game to this point. Early on, Broncos held the lead. 49ers fought back. And we'll see. Oh, wow. Big. Oh, you could have seen an interception there. The blitz came screaming in on the play action. This year, it just seems like, hey, if you were gonna call a play action, you better hope that the offense thinks you're gonna be running, because it doesn't seem to fake out the blitz that much, and that's a big problem if you're looking to pass on a down. Now we're in a long 3rd and 12. Broncos could get the stop here. It looks like he doesn't follow. Yeah, he had R1 and he had the corner route or the sideline streak there. And able to pick up the big first down. That was a big moment just because we could have easily seen one-score game, Broncos possessing the ball. At this point, they're going to need a turnover or they're going to need to allow no yards to prevent a field goal. 40-yard line, looks like the ball's being handed off. Broncos stuff him right at the 40. So
I don't see the Broncos pulling this one off. Burns is now in the 49ers direction too, so I think he's in field goal range from here.
Yeah, he's pretty much in field goal range. There remains the opportunity for a mishap. Oh, and a fumble. Big fumble. But still, 40-yard line, fumble, no consequence. I feel like anytime I fumble, I'm going to lose it. That time he gets the fumble back. So breath of relief, and we might see a conservative play call here after the fumble. At
Yeah,
least that's what I would be looking at if I was the Broncos defense. A tackle, and we're going to stay on the 40-yard line. So Broncos do hold tough. It's going to be a 57-yard field goal for, I don't know who this kicker is. I can't read his name. Looks like, I think he aimed too far to the left, but the wind is with him, so
and it's good.
he sends it through. So the wind did carry it a little bit. Robbie Gould was true. And the Broncos are going to need to score, stop, and score again, because this is a 9-point ball game. If he doesn't go for 2 on that last touchdown, it would be an 8-point ball game if he makes a simple extra point. So this is the little chess match you play with going for 2, things of that nature. It's now a, well, I mean, it would be a 1-score game with respect to that you'd have to get the 2-point conversion. But certainly a better situation than this, because now you got to get the stop no matter what to tie the ball game up or go ahead.
Yeah, I prefer waiting to go for 2.
Some people like to get ahead of it, maybe when people aren't expecting it. I think the only way to do that is really a fake. Nice tackle battle break there, but he's in massive amounts of traffic, so.
Yeah, wasting massive amounts of time, too.
Yeah, 4 minutes, 30 seconds. Broncos need a score, and they need it sooner rather than later to make this a ball game again. 2-score lead for the 49ers. Good find. Mr. Williams looks like he'll have the first down. 3rd and inches. Got to get this first down on one of the next 2 downs. And you got to protect the football, Doc, because if this is a turnover, it's likely game over. If he doesn't get points on this drive, even 3 keeps the game alive. That is not what you needed. Wow, he eludes the rusher. I don't know if he can get there. It looks like he will. My goodness. That was terrifying. I think that the 49ers user took the pass rusher out of the play on that blitz. It looks like he was going to take him, and then I think he changed into him because he also saw the pressure and felt like maybe he could do a better job, but I think he steered him out of the pass rush. And O is able to get the 9-yard gain, and the Broncos are moving. So 5 interceptions for the Broncos, kind of the tail to the game to this point, but still not out of it. And it looks like maybe he needs to cut up field. He does. Javonte Williams is going.
And he gets it out of bounds, more importantly.
I agree. Conserve the time. He's got all 3 of his timeouts. He needs at least 3 or a touchdown to keep the win possibility alive.
Would you pick 3 as soon as possible and play defense?
You know, if you need a touchdown anyways, I'm probably holding off to get a touchdown, but you also need a stop anyways, so it's all a time game. If I get down super far, I might just elect to kick a field goal just to get my points and try to get the stop, but he's closer now than he may be in the future to get a touchdown, right? So
you take maybe 4 shots to the end zone here, or try and get out of bounds each time, and then just kick your 3. That's what I would do. Is I'd take all my end zone shots here right now.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, I can think I would know what I would do, and then oftentimes I do the wrong thing. But here at this situation, you definitely are going for a touchdown. You're at the 5-yard line. Taking 3 here would kind of be a cop-out because you need a touchdown no matter what. Keeper, Russell Wilson. It's a ball game. Juke's back inside. The defender can't stay with him, and you love to see it. And once again, I want to remind you, I'm not trying to be a dick at all. Like, honestly, I'm just literally commentating this game free of charge. But if he doesn't go for 2 earlier, he's down 1 point, and that may come into play here as we see possible back and forth scores on the horizon. But at this time, a field goal will win it.
It will, and I really appreciate our Game of the Week selections. You know, the past 2 weeks, they've been absolutely great games. You know, last week going into overtime. This week, you know, it's a two-point game with 3 minutes left.
Yeah, I think we've gotten lucky to this point. Week 1, I'll just choose to forget. But it was a close game in the scoreboard. But my goodness, it was mind-numbing to have to follow all the turnovers that took place. I think there was 14, 15, 16 turnovers. So this game has some turnovers, but a little bit more to go. Square is so open, and he is going to find him. It looks like Mr. Tony is possibly going to seal this win for the 49ers. Wide open. The Broncos must have taken control of the center safety as his user on that play because there was nobody there. Pass rush did not get home, and the middle of the field did get abused. Mac Jones put his whole heart and soul into that throw, back foot, and the receiver was able to have the presence of mind to turn, know that the ball wasn't going to sail as far as maybe he would want to catch it in stride, and make the catch. Touchdown. 9-point game. The Broncos are now in this situation where you need to go down and get a field goal as quick as you can, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I feel like you go for two on the last possession because let's say you get it, it's only a one possession game right now. You know, not really sure. The mind and math games that Hunter is showing us right now. You know, because as we see, it's now a two possession game when he could have gone for two last possession.
It looks like Russell Wilson was hoping to get a quick strike. He had something underneath that probably could have been a completion, but I understand that the time is not his friend. He knows he's two scores down, and to be honest, just a couple mistakes here and there. I mean, that's how you win in Madden. You can just find yourself like, oh man, I really wish I had. Oh wow, right across the field. Did not expect that pass happening. I think the tight end was open. But he's able to throw it back across body to a running back going the opposite direction. So, looks like a play action pass. Fakes out everybody. Doesn't get rid of it. Wide open man in the flat.
They had 40, maybe 40, 50 yards there.
Yeah, so looks like all of the zone drops are being set by the 49ers here, looking to maybe guard that first down line. And the Broncos are at the brink. This is the moment where we probably won't see a win if he can't get a first down here. He needs to get rid of the ball, and he looks like he is going to get a drop. Oh, cannot come down with it. What's that?
That's probably the game right there. You know, I don't entirely agree with the decision to call that play right there. You know, you only need a yard, and, you know, getting the yard is more important than getting a bomb down the field, especially in that position.
I think he's probably just thinking, hey, he knows I need 4 yards. Maybe hoping that he's going to defend short and maybe get, you know, he also needs more. He also needs a lot of points. So if he could have gotten a quick streak, he'd look like a genius, right? But unfortunately, is not able to come down with the catch. Looks like Kittle gets a little edit there on the route, and it's another touchdown throw by Mr. Tony. And this game has gotten out of control here. It's a 3-score game. He's going for 2. Don't love this, but it is what it is. Looks like they're maybe trying to make it a 3-score game here. It throws it out of the end zone, so no 3-score game. It's still a 2-score game, but in much more commanding fashion. 15 points.
He probably most definitely had a breakout game with him.
Maybe you're right. I think that the 49ers maybe was thinking, hey, I'll make this a 3-score game. Instead of, 15, it will be 17. Instead of 16. I would have taken 16. You're going to have to stop him to 2 scores and 2 2-point conversions. I know the Falcons once betted on that, but that doesn't happen every day. Usually it's hard to get those 2-point conversions along with your touchdowns and congruency. But hey, the Broncos are maybe running out the clock here. We'll see. No, just a quick little run to get a little game check. And they're not completely out of it. They have all their timeouts. If they can find a way to get the ball in the end zone, it gets a little bit interesting. You'll probably see an onside kick, and then you'll probably see some timeouts thrown, interception, ball game.
These Raiders players that he acquired has made some plays for him, Trevon Moehrig and Max Crosby.
Yeah, Trey Lance is gone, but the 49ers are 3-0, and today the 2 Raiders that he acquired to get rid of Lance, Moehrig and Max Crosby made some big plays, one to finish the game essentially there. So we're seeing some kneels. Broncos certainly are upset with their performance, but they weren't. I mean, this was a 2-point game late in the game, and they had a shot. They needed to get a stop, but they were battling, and this is what happens. I mean, this is what happens to almost all of us. If you are losing, you end up either having to get a first down at some point or not, and if you don't, sometimes you throw in an interception that boosts the score, right, from a little bit less what it was late in the game. So, yes, you're seeing a 15-point win for the 49ers, and a 15-point win it is. But the Broncos battled late. It was a tight game late. Like you said, we were thanking our lucky stars for getting a good game of the week. And hats off, man. The 49ers 3-0 in the AFC West, looking like the dominant team in that division. And definitely going to be an exciting finish for the AFC West, and I mean for the NFC West. And for the AFC West, the Broncos are just looking to keep pace with this Chiefs team, this Raiders team, and maybe likely this Chargers team. Talented division. And I think the Broncos have some clear moments that they just need that they just need to clean up. I mean, there's clear things to clean up. There's clear things to find. Maybe some different play calls, more conservative pass plays, better route combinations. But all in all, gave the 49ers a lot to handle. Late in the game, they had to make plays, and they did. And the 49ers come away with the deserved win because of that. Big thing, follow the rules though. Hopefully everybody knows the rules, is going to punt when they need to be punting. Things of that nature. But all in all, great game of the week, man. We're going on to week 4 in a couple minutes here. And we're going to turn off injuries, make sure games are set. Yeah, make sure games are set, and we'll be good. So what are your final thoughts, Doc?
It's good to see a competitive matchup. We see a GG here from Raven. I definitely think that was close. Hopefully, we keep up with it in this next game of the week.
Right. Yeah, so it's going to be a good next game of the week. I think that I think it'll be posted here soon. You'll see exactly who that is and vote accordingly. So, hey, guys. We're going to keep going as long as EA lets us. So this has been Doc and Ragin with Week 3 Game of the Week. Raven beating Hunter by 15 here. Close game late. So, all right, have a good night.
Good night.